Suicide Squad is the latest entry in the DC Extended Universe to be undeservedly bashed by critics. It's at like 20-something% on Rotten Tomatoes. This is not worse than the Green Lantern movie, people, okay? Get this through your heads, okay? It's not that bad. Okay? Don't listen to Rotten Tomatoes. This is no Green Lantern, or Catwoman, or any other, just trash, okay? Anyway, let's talk about the movie. So after the death of Superman, spoilers, in Batman v Superman, Amanda Waller is like, hey, what if the next Superman who comes to protect the Earth is a total douchebag, and he starts being, wrecking shop and blowing up buildings and everything, so she's like, we need people under our control who can protect us. So naturally, Amanda Waller, who has a brilliant mind, hires convicted criminals to do this. She gets these criminals with a certain specific set of skills, puts a bomb in their neck to keep them under control, and now they're the Suicide Squad and they go on Black Ops missions. So the Suicide Squad is comprised of B-list DC villains. The most famous one that everybody probably knows is Harley Quinn, Joker's girlfriend. Deadshot's also there, Captain Boomerang, Killer Croc, Katana, a bunch of people. Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. Perfect casting choice. Said it right away. As soon as I saw her on Wolf of Wall Street, I'm like, get her as Harley. Make her do that voice. Get her to be Harley Quinn right now. And they did. Thanks, Hollywood. She delivered a great performance. Can't imagine a better Harley Quinn in live action. And she and Jared Leto have natural chemistry together. Now, Jared Leto had a tough act to follow. Heath Ledger. Everybody loves him. He won an Oscar for being the Joker. Jared Leto's a good Joker for the 5 minutes that he's on screen. Don't let the trailers mislead you, okay? Joker is barely in this movie. I was very upset because I saw that he was second build. I was like, yes, Joker is gonna screw with the Suicide Squad. He's gonna be in a ton of this movie, and Jared Leto is gonna be awesome. But they pulled a Star Wars: The Force Awakens, where they second build Mark Hamill and Luke Skywalker only showed up for a minute. Why do you do this to me, Hollywood? You're so misleading. Your trailers and your billing, and I'm just trying to find out if Luke's going to be in the movie for a long time and if Joker's going to be in the movie, and you just keep messing with me. But yeah, from the trailers I thought, okay, Joker's main bad guy, Suicide Squad's going to go after him. That doesn't happen. The actual main bad guy is pretty terrible. Their performance is bad. Their plan is generic. It's like, oh, I'm going to build a machine to destroy humanity, and that's pretty much all you get. Will Smith, I was pretty apprehensive about being in this movie. Because he's Will Smith, he seems bigger than a comic book movie, And I was worried that he would just, be playing Will Smith, because Will Smith tends to do that a lot, especially in, action movies. But Will Smith isn't front and center in this movie. He's actually blended into the ensemble pretty nicely. He does get more focus than the other members, besides Harley. But his arc is good. He has, a daughter that he's trying to take care of, but he's also a sociopath, a killer for money. And they kind of beat you over the head with oh, he's not a bad guy, he loves his daughter. And it's kind of shoehorn characterization. And speaking of characterization beating over your head, there's a character named El Diablo, and he's the pyro guy, shoots flames. But El Diablo has a backstory where he accidentally killed his family with fire, so now he's a pacifist. And his arc is nice, but it's, too forced, At the end he's like, hey, we're all family now. And the movie didn't earn that. And that's a big problem with the movie. A lot of the character development feels very forced. The Suicide Squad develops this tight-knit bond very rapidly, and it doesn't feel quite natural. I wish they had played up the aspects that these are all criminals, and they all should hate each other and try to betray each other to get their freedom at any notice. There's a pretty bad love story between Enchantress and Rick Flag in this movie. These two have absolutely no chemistry at all. If you hadn't told me that these people were in love, I wouldn't have even guessed that they were in a relationship. And it doesn't help that the human side of Enchantress is just nothing. She has absolutely no character besides to be nervous about the Enchantress taking over her body. And the rest of the squad is just there to fill the team. Killer Croc looks really cool. The makeup looks great on him. But his character is just a typical stereotype. I think he's a black stereotype. He asked for BET at the end. And Killer Croc's an actually interesting character. You could go into, he was a human, but now he's developed these animalistic instincts, and you could show that he wants to be human again, and he's tired of being treated like a monster. but they don't do any of that. He's just the muscle. Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang was pretty good. This is the best that Jai Courtney has ever been in the movie, but he was overacting a ton. Katana was good, and Slipknot was there. Another perfect casting choice, Viola Davis as Amanda Waller. Perfect casting choice. Can't imagine a better live action Amanda Waller. Where this movie lacks is its story. The story feels very muddled and cliched at the end. It could have used a more clever plot. There are moments where the characters are completely brain dead. They either do something really stupid or they act completely out of character. And I think that's a conflict between the studio and the director, because a lot of reports came out recently. It was like, oh, there was a lot of behind the scenes drama. There was different cuts of the movie. The studio wanted a lighter tone and the director wanted, a darker, more serious tone, like with Man of Steel or Batman v Superman. And you get this weird mashup, which I like the tone of this movie a lot, but it puts a lot of people off. Minor spoilers, Batman's in the movie, and you see him a bit in the trailers, and I loved his presence in the movie. I just wish there was more of him. Like, if you saw the animated movie Assault on Arkham, Batman's kind of stalking the Suicide Squad through Arkham Asylum. I wish they had done that in this movie. And there's also a very, very cool cameo from another member of the Justice League that I wasn't expecting, and it was so great to see him. But yeah, the real thing holding this movie back is its plot and its script. The script should use more fine-tuning, the plot should have been more clever. The direction is great, the acting is mostly great except for a few performances. The movie also has a great soundtrack, but it's very invasive. It doesn't blend quite as naturally as like some other good movies that have soundtracks like this, like Guardians of the Galaxy or Watchmen. The music feels out of place in some parts. The action scenes were also well put together, except for some, very, very, very unnecessary slow-mo at the end. See this movie for yourself. Don't blindly listen to critics. Don't jump on the, DC hate bandwagon. Just think for yourself. Don't listen to critics. Except for me, because I'm awesome. But anyway, see this movie if you have any interest in it. If not, movie's not for you. Don't go in with too high expectations. Just go in looking for a good time with fun characters, and that's what you'll get. Bye.